Hello YouTubers, Novascorvis here and welcome to another episode of The Road to Metroid Switch. For anyone that doesn't know, this is just a YouTube series that I do talking about any and all information regarding a new Metroid game on the Nintendo Switch. Now, I don't know what episode we're on because it's been a long time since I checked and it's also been a very long time since I did the last one. I can't even remember what I talked about in the last one. So at the time of this video I haven't checked, so it's been a while, so I don't know what I've talked about. Anyway, to the topic at hand, what I'm going to talk about in this video isn't any information, because as we saw from E3, Metroid Prime 4 is not coming till like late next year, so this series will probably just end for a while, and or I might include it to talk about a 3DS game, I don't know. But so I wanted to include this topic as a Metroid Switch video because it kind of relates to Metroid Prime 4. And what it is that for anyone that doesn't know, Retro Studios, the studios that made the Metroid Prime trilogy, and then went on to Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze and Donkey Kong Country Returns. The rumor now is that apparently they're being shut down, which is kind of ironic because in my last video talking about E3, I mentioned that are they even, I kind of jokingly said, do Retro even exist anymore since we haven't heard from them in a while. So what the situation is that apparently there's this website that apparently no one's heard of, and it's kind of new, where employees can leave reviews about their experiences with certain companies and studios. And there's been a lot of employees of Retro there, and they've given a lot of negative reviews, talking about like poor management decisions and stuff like that. There's been 4 reviews, and only one of them has been good, and that's from 2013. So I don't know what's going on, but it does not look good. Because, I wonder if this is why Retro are not making Metroid Prime 4. Because one of the the employees mentions that he thinks Nintendo are getting ready to pull the plug on Retro any day now. Which is sad, and it's quite a shock because we haven't heard from Retro in such a long time. The last time we heard from him was when the last Donkey Kong game came out in like 2014, I think. And then they were on a new game, and Reggie was saying that they'd talk about it in the future. And then there was rumors they were doing Metroid Prime 4, and the latest one was that they were doing Star Fox. But, this did seem, in one of their older interviews, they did seem interested in doing another Metroid Prime game. So I'm wondering if Nintendo went to them, but then decided not to because of the poor management decisions, and then put Metroid Prime 4 to another studio. That's quite a probable case. But there's not a lot of information going around anyway, other than like these poor management decisions and stuff. And Retro haven't produced anything in 4 years now, and no one's heard anything about them year after year. So I guess it's Nintendo figure it's time to just shut it down. Which, like, when you look back on the history of Retro Studios, they've not had they did not start off well. In fact, for anyone that doesn't know the story, in the beginning, they were created or bought by Nintendo anyway, to develop 4 games. I can't remember what 4 games they were, but they were all GameCube games. One of them got a prototype and then was scrapped, and the other 3 were scrapped. And Nintendo were getting ready to just shut down Retro at the time. And then I believe it was Miyamoto or someone suggested handing Metroid over to Retro as a last resort. And then people hated the idea when they first saw it. But then out of that last minute decision came one of the greatest video game trilogies of all time. And then they went on to the 2 Donkey Kong games, and they haven't made anything since. So I'm just wondering if this is a similar situation. Like, could Nintendo hand over another franchise to them. I mean, I've heard that Star Fox is dying off. I don't know how true that is because I'm not involved with Star Fox in any way. So it would make sense if they handed Star Fox over to Retro, considering they did the same with Metroid all those years ago. But I doubt it. That's just me throwing my idea out there. So if Retro are being shut down, I'm wondering what this means for the future of the series. Not a lot, obviously, because we're going to get a new studio and then they'll continue with this game and maybe Metroid Prime 5 and 6, as I keep mentioning, because I do think they'll do another trilogy. But it will be weird just being detaching the games from Retro, because Retro are just associated with Metroid for so long now. And now if they're going away, it's bizarre. I don't really know what else to say about it. There's not a lot I can say, so I think I will leave it at that. I just wanted to update you guys on what's going on there, and that's really it. Retro Studios are being reportedly being shut down. I don't know if it's actually going to happen or if they'll undergo new management, but we'll see what happens. We probably won't hear anything about it. It'll just kind of fade away, they'll just disappear without us hearing anything about them, I believe. Which is, it really is sad considering they had such huge success when they were given Metroid, and now apparently all these, whatever is going on internally, they haven't been able to produce something for 4 years, which I don't know why. I don't know if that's due to these management decisions, but for whatever reason, they haven't talked about what they're working on. They haven't shown anything. Nintendo haven't mentioned anything, so who really knows? So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. There's nothing really else to add than that. I just wanted to add this to Metroid Switch series, as I said, because there's nothing else to really talk about in terms of Metroid Prime 4. And it could be another few months before I do another one of these, even though I know I say that in every single video, but unless something shows up, there's nothing else to talk about. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I feel like this is the shortest episode I've done yet. It might not be, but it just feels short because feel like I'm rushing through what I'm saying. I don't know if it comes across that way to you guys. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and please subscribe. Nova Scores out.